there are hundreds of prophecies that Jesus has fulfilled. And we could take years and years going through each one of them. In fact, I suspect for the rest of your life, you are going to be working through these prophecies in different ways and seeing how they all point to Jesus. But I want you to not just understand that Jesus fulfilled the prophecies in the Old Testament. That's nice. I want you to think about this a little bit more mathematically about what Jesus actually did. Take a look at this little show that we've got for you here. What's the probability of Jesus fulfilling just 8 of these prophecies? We would select 8 of them, like Jesus to be born in Bethlehem, or maybe that the prophecy about the silver coins that we talked about, or we could take that there had to be someone, a forerunner who go before him, like the prophet Elijah, who John the Baptist fulfilled. We could look at these different prophecies along the way. What would be the prophecy that the probability that 8 of those prophecies will be fulfilled? Well, a mathematician has worked it out, and you'll get an email giving you the name of the mathematician, so you can look up more on this if you want to. But then it would be 2.8 times 10 to the 28 chance. So a 1 in 2.8 times 10 to the 28. That's 1,000 trillion trillion, or 28 octillion. That's 28 with all those zeros up. We're talking about, it's a pretty big number, the chance of this actually happening by chance. So that's almost too big a number for our brains to get that Jesus will fulfill these prophecies. And the way this has worked out is the chance of him fulfilling that prophecy of being born in Bethlehem. Well, what percentage of the people are born in the city of Bethlehem? And so it's worked out mathematically in that way. So, first of all, I want you to imagine a 5p coin. And we've got one in front of you here that you can see these coins that are on the screen right now. If I took one 5p coin and I put a black splodge on it, like that, or coloured one side of it black, and then I put it into a money box, like the pot you can see just next to me here, what would be the chance, and I've chosen the 5p coin because it's the smallest coin that we have in the UK, 5p coin, but you could choose, if you're not from the United Kingdom, choose your smallest coin. It will be about the same size. What would be the chance of putting it in and you at chance pulling out one coin at random and it being the one with the black spot on it? Well, it's possible, isn't it? It depends how big the pot is. What if the pot were the size of the room that you're in now, and you could twirl around in it and move things around as much as you like and choose one of those at random? The chance of you picking that is pretty small, isn't it? But what if not just in the room you're in? What if the house that you live in was filled up with 5p coins? Can you imagine it? All those 5p coins, and you can choose just one. What's the chance of it being that one with the black splodge on it? Could you even find the one with the black splodge on it? What about not just that house, but all the houses in your street filled up with 5p coins? I don't know how many 5p coins we're up to now, but it's a lot of 5p coins. But what about this town where you live? If it was covered a metre deep in 5p coins, and you could go anywhere around that town or that city and just pick up one of them, what would be the chance of you picking up the one with the black splodge? Or a whole city that was filled, all the buildings filled up with 5p coins, or all the land of earth covered in 5p coins. Just go back to the amount of 5p coins in your house. Think of more houses, more houses, more houses. Now think of the whole land covered. And I'd say to you, still, we've not reached the probability of coins, which would be the same as the probability of Jesus fulfilling these 8 prophecies. In fact, it would be more like opening up the whole of planet Earth and filling it up with 5p coins. Can you imagine doing that? That's all the buildings filled in all of the earth, but also the whole inside of the earth filled up with 5p coins, and just one of them has that black spot on it. What's the likelihood of that actually happening? I mean, really, the whole earth filled up with 5p coins, and you're looking for just that one. It's going to be pretty tricky, isn't it? And actually, we read that since time began, there's about 108 billion people have lived. That's an estimate. We don't know exactly how many that is. That's 1.08 times 10 to the power of 11. But Jesus had a 2.8 times 10 to the power of 28 chance of fulfilling. So it's a much bigger number. It's got loads more zeros on the end. If you don't understand the maths, don't worry too much. Just be aware that there's loads more zeros. In fact, it's about a 1 in 100, is it 100 trillion chance? Right. this many people have lived on earth, but Jesus and had to be one of this many people, a lot more people than have ever lived on earth to have the chance of that. It'd be a bit like me saying, if I have 10 coins and there's a 1 in 10 chance of me choosing one of those coins. But if I've only been given 5 of those coins so far, then it's possible that the one that I want is one of the 5 that I've not yet been given. Well, 180 billion people have lived on earth. And the possibility that that person has fulfilled all 8 prophecies, the probability of fulfilling all 8 prophecies, the chance of them already having lived is so small, it's about 1 in 100 trillion. Not very likely that that person has even lived. Because it's so hard to fulfill these prophecies so precisely, which were given 1,000 years or 500 years before Jesus was born. Let me put it a different way. If if I offered you a tenth of a cake, it would be similar to this slice that you can see here. Can you see that? Would you like a tenth of a cake? If I offered you 100th of a cake, I'd have to take that tenth and cut it into 10 pieces. If I offered you 1,000th of a cake, you'd have to have that'd be like a crumb. But we're not talking about 1,000th. We're not even talking about a millionth. We're not even talking about a billionth. We're talking about 100 trillionth of a cake. That's less than a crumb. We're talking about kind of less than 0 is the chance that this person has even ever lived out of the 108 billion, let alone that we could see them. And we're only talking at this moment about 8 of the prophecies that Jesus has fulfilled. Just 8. With every extra prophecy you add, it's probably adding at least 1 more 0 on the end. In fact, the probability that Jesus would come and fulfill all of the prophecies, and it depends who you ask and how you weigh it, but it's between 200 and 600 prophecies. Jesus fulfilled not just 8 prophecies, but hundreds of them. That's like having those 5p coins filling the whole of the Milky Way galaxy and selecting one of them and finding them. Can you see? Jesus sent us the prophets and he sent us the law of Moses and he gave us the Psalms so that when Jesus came, we would have no doubt that it was him, because Jesus was the one who was born in the right place to the right family at the right time, and who grew up in the right place, and who also rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, and who was betrayed by a friend for 30 silver coins, whose money was thrown back and ended up buying a potter's field, and who has hands and his feet pierced, and who had water coming out of him. Are you seeing prophecy after prophecy after prophecy that Jesus fulfilled, even in that short window of time? This is who we're serving. It's not an accident. It's not by chance. If you ever have any doubts, read through the Old Testament and see how it all points to the fact that Jesus is the one who is going to come, and he has come, and he has rescued us. And now I encourage you, there are even more signs saying when he will be coming back, and many of them are beginning to be fulfilled in our time, because God is mighty, God is powerful, and when he says something, it happens. Woohoo!